What's up, gentle friends? You like that? That gender-neutral intro there? Anyway, I'm back. Life happens. Haven't done one of these in a few days, but doing another one here, just try to catch up on everything that's gone on. This right here as well, it's me house sitting. This isn't my house, so I can feel some of your trolls' fingers start to fire up right now. Say, hey, Jordan, why do you ask for donations if you stay in such a nice place? Not mine. One of my health coaching clients was nice enough to lend me his place while he's out of town, and it's right on the water on the Hood Canal. Freaking beautiful. But anyway, not mine. Just lucky enough to stay here. And also, tying up the housekeeping things, I started a Twitter and a Facebook account for this page, this Destroying the Illusion page. You'll also know or notice I got a nice little banner and a new logo, so freshening things up a bit. So go follow or like or do whatever you do on social media accounts to stay up to date on my Twitter and Facebook. Also, there's absolutely nothing on either of those yet, so you'll notice pretty freaking blank, but I'll start building it out. Anyway, on to the news. On the pedo front, we had Trump hold his human trafficking press conference late last week, which was huge. Right? It's very interesting when you actually listen to the man. A lot of people call him dumb and call him, a raging idiot, but he has to be very careful with what he says. And he's not a groomed actor like many of the presidents we've had in the past, right? So he not only, right, he's stammered speech and all that jazz, but just put yourself in that position. He is probably nervous as all hell and has to be very particular with the things he says. But he actually mentioned in that press conference that, we've done great the past 4 weeks, right? We've really ramped things up, i.e. the 1,500 to 1,600 arrests that have already happened. He can't say that, but he's alluding to it. And he's also mentioning that there's a couple other things that he specifically said in that press conference. I can't quite remember, but freaking awesome. I was stoked to see that. Also, he's been really just laying it on the media, skipped the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Of course, the corporate media was having a shit show over that, but let's be real, dude has stuff to do. If I was in that position, I wouldn't bother with a stupid media stunt where everybody would just rag on me anyway. And I don't know if you guys watched the Oscars last night. It's the 27th right now. Last night was Sunday. The Oscars, all those stupid Hollywood puppets were just ragging on Trump because, let's be real, how bad is pedophilia in the Hollywood industry? It is deep-rooted there. So, they were all shilling for their corporate masters because Hollywood is just, their buttholes are clenched right now. They are nervous as heck. So that's really funny to see. I was actually laughing when they were ragging on Trump because he's, probably sitting in his, who knows what he's doing, but he's just really moving the chess pieces to attack. And that also leads me into my next concept of this video, is that David Seaman, his YouTube channel and his Twitter account both went dark. I think he completely deleted his Twitter account, deleted all the videos off of his Facebook, but he went black. He pulled a Ben Swan, went underground essentially, or went dark. And I think there's a few things I think about this actually, but first and foremost, his health, man. Doing these, right, he had 150,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you don't know who he was, David Seaman was probably the most renowned Pizzagate reporter there is. He was also reporting on the Rothschilds and actually did some updates on like UFO disclosure and whatnot, but he was primarily Pizzagate related. I can only imagine what the attacks on him were like. I only have like 2,400 subscribers on this channel now, and I get troll comments and stuff like that, little stuff that I can just laugh off in the meantime. But him having 75 times the outreach that I do, I can only imagine what serious attacks this dude was getting. And we don't want it devolving to a point where they Max Spears him, right? He just starts coughing out some black goo and dies. Suicides. I call it suicided suddenly, which is a very real thing. Many researchers have been suicided, right? Like Gary Webb, they found him with the drug trafficking whistleblower exposing the CIA drug trafficking. They found him 2 bullet holes in his head and called it suicide. I don't know how you shoot yourself twice in the head when you commit suicide. But anyway, David Seaman had to do it because he's protecting his own health. Completely for it, right? We need to send love and light to that man because he is putting his whole self, his balls on the line to really wake the people up. And also, one last perspective on the David Seaman thing. He may or may not have been asked to go quiet. In a Facebook group, I saw a screenshotted, supposed alleged screenshot conversation of his. I don't know how legit this is, but apparently he may or may not have been asked to go quiet, asked to go dark by his intel friends, because not only are those attacks getting bad on him, and people in the intel agencies knew that, but also with the chess moves that are being lined up, right, with the Trump administration lining up to really attack the human traffickers and to probably start going after the larger names, they want these researchers to lay low, to take the heat off them, right, give them time to relax a little bit, but also they don't want many of these moves reported because they don't want their plans being outed, and they want things to be quiet in the meantime. So, who knows what the next couple weeks will bring. It might bring some pretty fun stuff, big stuff. So I'm excited. The elite are on the ropes. So we have, right, that's from the pedophile aspect of things, the pedophile angle, but we also have, for instance, the ATF, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. They had some bust on their organization. I'll link that down below. I'm not too familiar with it. I just read a headline. And also Spanish bankers, even a former head of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, was arrested in Spain. I think there was like 50 or 60 pretty high-level people that were all arrested. So big things going on. I think there's a lot of big moves being made behind the scenes, as there always is, but bigger moves, right? The elite are getting pushed back, and the so-called alliance is stepping forward to make some serious moves. So that's what I think we're seeing. That's the update I wanted to do. And in the meantime as well, with David Seaman going offline, we don't have Ben Swan anymore, unfortunately. All the independent journalists need to step up, and by that I mean we are all independent journalists. I have this YouTube channel, 2,500 subscribers, great. You all have friends out there that need to be woken up and need to hear these things. We are all independent journalists at heart, so we all have to really get on our grind and start sharing information and start trying to wake the peoples up and do what we need to do, right? If we all start waking up and standing up, just like the movie The Bug's Life, right? When all those little bugs started realizing that the big bugs are few, there's only a few big controlling bugs out there, and if we all rallied together and started standing up, we could just easily tear down the people controlling us. So that's what we all need to do. So let's pray and hold the more famed indie journalists at heart that are being attacked, and all take it upon ourselves to relieve the pressure off of them and start sharing this stuff, blowing it open. And lastly, 8.5 minutes already, I'll wrap this up. Antarctica, supposedly, big old rumor, so I'm not gonna, put any eggs in a basket quite yet, but apparently there have been military movements down to Antarctica, and this was posted on like a forum. It was some comment with somebody allegedly working for contractors and hearing of military movements, but apparently they are allegedly, I have to throw a lot of those words in there because I don't want to get anybody's panties in a bunch. But supposedly there's military moving into Antarctica. If this is true, right, because remember, if you don't know the sitch, Antarctica's, supposedly they've found ancient civilizations under the ice there, and a lot of very fantastic artifacts and stuff. So they want to disclose that to the public. Now, the powers that be might use it in a partial disclosure, bait and switch, to try and retain their control but give us a little slice of the pie, or it will end up as a full disclosure. So one of two ways this can go about. The more that we start speaking up, right, like I just said, the more we're going to get that full disclosure and not be bullshitted. So if this military movement is real, I think it can only be one of two things. Either A, it's military movement going down there to pull that partial disclosure, right? To move the rest of those artifacts out of there that they found. And then the powers that be are going to say, oh my god, this fantastic big old crack in the ice, or all of this supposed melting in the Antarctic exposed these ancient ruins, and oh my gosh, we didn't know about them before. There's been no Nazi bases in Antarctica since World War II. Hush on that. But, oh my gosh, here's all this ancient civilization stuff, and then people go crazy. So it's going there. The military is either going down there to pull that partial disclosure, or they're going down there to prevent it. It could be military movements of the Alliance going down there to prevent the people already down there from moving more of those artifacts out, and they want to usher in a type of full disclosure and prevent whatever, black ops, black projects, whatever else is going on down there. So anyway, if the Antarctic military movement thing is true, keep those situations in mind, because that's what could happen if it were true, if. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that update. Some updates on the pedophile things, kind of connecting some dots together. You might have heard some of it before, but I want to lay it all out succinctly and briefly. And then Antarctica. This is a very important subject that we must all keep in the back of our minds and be on guard for, because I just did some researching on Antarctica yesterday into Google, and funny enough, the second hit that come up after Wikipedia on Antarctica was a CIA article. Don't know when CIA was so into geography, but remember, the CIA is basically the Nazi OSS, and the Nazis have had bases down there since World War II, so that's why the CIA is talking about it. And also, a bunch of news articles was on the thawing of the ice and the giant crack about to break off in Antarctica. So I think they are setting up to pull that partial disclosure by saying, oh my god, look what global warming revealed. So I want to warn you, that's how they're going to do it. It's so easy. It's so plain as day to see once you begin looking a little harder. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Please support me if you feel so obliged to. PayPal and Patreon accounts down below. Thank you guys for contacting me too, whether you just friend me on Facebook or leave comments on my things. I enjoy it. I like your feedback from my tribe, from the people who enjoy my stuff. And stay tuned for more. If you have any questions you want addressed in a video or specific topics you want me to talk about, let me know. Anyway, peace.